I am. Yeah. Boom! God, I haven't done that in fucking ages. Hey? Is it? Oh, shit. God. Shit! I think it is me. I'm pretty sure it's me. At least you fucking have ads. Here we go then. And that's why today we're going to be doing that. And yeah, so Lyle, what do you think? What? Yeah. Fucking course I weren't saying anything. Oh, I'm so damn good at this. Go boom, boom, boom. That was hilarious. You've got to put that in. Ah. Right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Why did I say 3, 2, 1? What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another podcast. It is podcast numero 3. I don't know what language that is, but it's probably not English. Welcome to podcast 3. Now, today, usually at this point, we tell you the sort of topics that we're going to be doing. Well, we can't do that today because we haven't really got that many. We've got small topics. We haven't really got a big topic. So we're just going to wing it and see where the podcast takes us in regards to if we think of a topic in the middle of the podcast, if you get what I'm saying. Of course, I'm joined with the co-host. And, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. So, yeah, if you are enjoying this podcast, don't forget to drop a like and comment in the comments below. And we have got, as I say, our segment that we always do, which we're going to move on to now, which is the comments review, the section where we review last week's comments. And it might be a long one, folks, because I got one comment on my video. Yeah, can do. Cool! Jesus, watch out, Lyle. Right. Oh, jeez. Yeah, we appreciate that. Yep. Mm. Yeah, something to, stimulate on the screen the whole time, if you know what I mean. I do get that point. Obviously, we do put stuff on the screen, or you put stuff on the screen. I can't take credit for that. I don't know, the face, what is it? I was going to call it face podcast. Face cam, that's it. It would be a difficult one, isn't it? I think it's my internet's shit. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll give it a test some point this week, and we'll just sort of see. And see whether it's because we don't want to, we spoke about this briefly before. We don't want poor quality and it to ruin the podcast. So we'll give it a little bit of a. Oh my god, it's a fly! Jesus Christ, I thought it was a fucking spider. Holy shit! Whew, give me a second. Jesus Christ, Lyle, please talk. I need a drink. Hmm. The 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 only thing we could do is, thinking about it, is we could have, like we do now, like a little background thing, and then kind of two sort of little squares. They wouldn't need to be that big. We wouldn't want them too big, because if it got too big, it would just look really shit. As I say, we'll give it a test. That's all we can really do. If it's going to be shit, we don't want to do it. I have got a camera. It's not the greatest camera, but it's a decent camera. Does do 1080p. How we'd go about sending the videos to each other, I don't know. That's another problem. But we'll look into it, folks, and just sort of see what we can do. We won't make any promises, but we'll test it next week at some point, or this week at some point, and we'll let you know in the next podcast, where we're at on that front. As we say, front. And this fly is pissing me off because it is just everywhere. Honest to God, thought it was a spider. Fuck me, nearly had a heart attack. Anyway, so on to my comment. Oh no, there's comments. I forgot there's 2 comments. My apologies. But let's get on to KWE's, which is kind of a comment for both of us, isn't it? Another ridiculously long comment, and I mean that in a really nice way. Love reading the comments that you send on the videos. And there's a couple of points that me and Lara both want to sort of bring up from the comment. I think when somebody takes as long as he does to comment on the video, it is our duty to respond at least to, at least some of what he says. Not all, because that's impossible to respond and we'd just be rehashing the same podcast as last week, which we did before. My genius idea the other year when in the last podcast, Operation Fuck Off, I decided on the second episode to read all the comments and to spend the whole podcast reading and going through the comments about the first podcast, which basically meant we basically repeated the second podcast. It was a disaster. And about halfway through, after about 50 minutes, I think it was Harry who said, "Cameron, this is pretty shit. Should we just move on?" And I said, yeah. And that was a terrible mistake. But I think we're doing it a lot better this way. Going through it, bringing out the key points and sort of not rehashing everything, if you know what I mean. I think we're doing it right. But anyway, is there a point you want to bring out, Lyle, other than to say thanks again for an incredible comment? Yeah. 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 No, we don't. That's the thing. We don't want it to come across as ungrateful. Yeah. And we do appreciate every single comment. Don't get me wrong. And that it's the one thing me and Lyle look for. Lyle messages me every time KWE comments. He did it for the first one. He did it for the second. Cameron, have you seen KWE's awesome comment? And I say, yeah, I'm just currently reading it. We do really seriously appreciate the big comments. The small comments as well. Don't get me wrong. We appreciate your little small comments, your tips, your advice, like, your cousin's little comment. We appreciate all of it. And the interaction. We appreciate it all. And we don't want to come across as ungrateful. This fly is seriously causing me some problems. But yeah, it is difficult, like you say, because and I'm not enjoying it either. And we'll touch on that a little bit more in a minute when I talk about my little meltdown I had midweek. I'm not enjoying the content anymore. And I made 2 vows when I started YouTube. I said, and they kind of contradict each other. So, it doesn't, but my life contradicts itself. So, I said, if I'm still enjoying videos, I'll upload them. And I also said, if there's one person watching, one person liking, one person commenting, I will still upload the videos. So I kind of realised I contradict myself in many respects, but you see what I'm saying there. And one of those vows at the moment, I'm not enjoying YouTube anymore. I don't know why. I don't know whether it's because it's the end of FIFA and this time's always boring anyway, but even with FIFA, I mean, you're quite excited for the next FIFA. Like, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not excited in the slightest. It's the first FIFA I'm not remotely excited for. The only thing I'm kind of excited for is doing a Chelsea career mode, and when I think about the fact that that'll probably get 20 views, that kind of depresses me again. And I think what's frustrating for us both, like you say, is our channels have been, and I can only really speak for mine, but I know yours has been, and you can speak better for yourself. But there was a point where Chelsea Gerard, I think it was FIFA 15, I might be wrong, it could have been FIFA 14, where, you know, my career modes were getting 250 views every sort of video, and it weren't at the start of FIFA, this was middle of the way through FIFA, and I was getting 20, 30 comments a video, and I was responding to them all. There were a variety. There were sort of complex comments, you know, tips and stuff, transfer suggestions, in-depth things, quoting something I'd said in the video, laughing, just the great video comments, a variety of comments, and I friggin' love life. And then I fucked it up, and it's my fault because I stopped uploading regularly. So I had it there, and people say you can't miss something you don't have. I disagree with that, but let's just pretend that that's true for the sake of this thing. I had it, and I lost it, and that's pissed me off even more, because I know I had the potential there to really take this channel to the next level, and I didn't, and I fucked it up, and now the channel is frankly dead. And when you've got 6,500 subscribers, and your video is getting 40 views, it is depressing, and I'm sorry, and I can't not be depressed about that. Do you know what I mean? I can't, and I am so thankful for the loyal subscribers, and you become even more important, and we're even more thankful for you, because how few of you there are, but I can't help but get depressed about it, especially the amount of hours that I've put into this channel. I've dedicated years of my life to this, and to just see it kind of dead is a little bit depressing. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Right, yeah. Oh, God. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I'm in a hole, and it's so deep, there's no ladder, and it's just impossible to climb out. It is like that. And although, you know, yeah, at times I enjoy my time in the hole, most of the time it's pretty fucking shit. And, you know, we'll get onto my meltdown in a minute. Again, I really like the way KWE looks at it. I keep calling you KWE because I don't know that you want me to call you your real name on the video, so just let me know in the comments whether you're okay with me and Lyle calling you your proper name. Yeah, I like the way you look at it, and I wish I could look at it that way. And don't get me wrong, I do look at it in some respects that way, but at the same time, I struggle, if you know what I mean. It's difficult. It really is a difficult one. He mentioned later on in the comments about the WoW podcast, Wrestling at Home. We are definitely going to do that. We're going to start organising that after this video. Whether it will be the next podcast, whether it will be its own podcast, if you know what I mean, I don't know. We're going to try and get people involved that, you know, Harry will definitely be there. You'll definitely be there, Lyle. I'll definitely be there. We'll try and get a couple of others who feature. Don't know whether we will, because we don't know whether they'll want to. But yeah, we'll talk memories, funny moments, bad moments, how it all sort of worked, and yeah, it's going to be a good. It could be a long one. I think that could run into 2-3 hours. I think. I don't know about you, love, but I think that one could run long. But we've wanted to do it for quite a long time, and yeah, the fact that KW especially wanted to see it, and he was one of our massive long fans. We might even upload that one on this channel and your channel, obviously, if you want, and probably on the Wrestling at Home channel as well. Yeah. 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 Is there anything else we want to bring about the comment? That he put again. It was a great comment. The cinema thing. I'd love WrestleMania to be showed at the cinema. Because when we went and watched Dunkirk midweek, and that's a topic we'll be talking about a little bit later on, me and Lyle went into the cinema with someone else as well, and we were fucking late. I'd fucked up times, typical me. And we went in, and I've never seen so many people in the cinema in all my life. It was just packed to the fucking brink. And I think it was you who said, Lyle, can you just imagine watching WrestleMania here? It would be fucking incredible. Oh, exactly. That's the great thing about WWE. It brings people together. You know, it doesn't matter who you are, what you just all come together, and it's just like we are like a little cult, but a good cult. Well, if you can get good cults, I suppose you can. But yeah, no, I think it would just be great. Imagine the chanting. It would be like being there, but not being there. Incredible. Anyway, we won't talk too much more about the comments. I think we've basically brought up what we wanted to. There was another point I wanted to make, but to be honest with you, I've forgotten what it was. So apologies. But yeah, I think that's it for the comments. Oh no, there was one other comment on my video that I have to reference from a guy called Mohammed, a guy that I think has some sort of, I don't know, bipolar or something. This is the same guy who literally just before we started the podcast, folks, messaged me talking about Liverpool after blocking me on Twitter for God knows what. This is a guy who's told me to kill myself. He's told you to kill yourself, isn't he, Lyle? What else did he just say? Let's just read out the classic. Fuck off and get hit by a train. Your mum likes dick. This is the type of guy we're dealing with. So I won't even be referencing his comment because the guy is a see you next Tuesday. And I think he's a cunt. I just said see you next Tuesday. I actually just said the word. So I kind of just completely ruined my point. But you know what I mean? I'm not referencing him. If he comments on the things, we aren't referencing. The guy needs some serious fucking help. And luckily I'm the sort of person that can laugh at that type of shit. And he's like, oh, I'm not, he's been... No, I'm not. He's just... We're not going to give him the time of day. I don't even want to reference the twat. And if I ever saw him, we'd have fun. Moving on. That's it for the comments review this episode, this day. I meant to say day and then episode. I got it mixed up. We'll now move on to the next topic. So yeah, let's move on. Fucking hell, Lyle. I can't help myself. I think we did. Should we go on to my meltdown? Let's start it like a cinematic thing. Like you start by saying something like go. Yeah, but do it in like a special voice. Go. I won't. Go like, I don't know what day it was. Let's pretend it was Monday. Monday the 31st of August. At Mr. FIFA Camp tweeted the following. Then read it out, and then go, and just read it out. This could be funny. I know, I'm a fucking twat. Yeah. A 30th of July. Just redo that. Yeah. Oh, fuck off. Oh, it obviously auto-corrected wrong. Can do, yeah. There's more, Lyle. So just look at go back to the first one. I'm fucking dying here. This is one of the funniest fucking things we've ever done. Just go down to but you can just sort of switch it around so you could still say finally KW1. Yeah, he probably just tweeted me. Don't do that. Is Mr. FIFA Cam your channel? So. Oh no, that was in my response one. Yeah, you just responded to the wrong thing. I'd say Mickey, but that is it. Fucking hell. I'll tell you what, I was fucking pissing myself the whole way through that. That was fucking hilarious. No, that's fine. That's funny. I like it. I thought. Well, yeah, but we are kind of taking the piss out of my meltdown. Screenshot before he fucking deletes. Right, ready? I'm gonna start saying how I thought that was funny. I don't know how I'm gonna do it now. It kind of feels awkward. Fuck, what do I do? Just say that last line, like, now for Cameron's response. Oh dear, I did think that was hilarious. So thanks, Lara, for doing it that way. We are kind of taking the piss out of my meltdown, but it was a serious one. I was seriously considering quitting YouTube. I did write a response on Twitter, and I'll read it out. I put, after sleeping on it and waking up to the messages from a few of you, I've decided to give YouTube one last big push. How many times have I fucking said that? I think I've at least got to give it till Christmas. With the new football season of FIFA coming out, I can then reassess at Christmas. Thank you for all the tweets and messages. I really appreciate it, and you've all convinced me to give it. Will you only get? No, I'm not going to. Let's just go back. Thank you for all the tweets and messages. Fuck. Thank you for all the tweets and messages. I really appreciate it, and you've all convinced me to give it one last shot. I'm going to just try and enjoy YouTube up until Christmas. Going to try and do a few more collabs and get others involved on the channel. So if you know anyone who may be interested, or yourself want to get involved in the channel, whether it be FIFA video, football video, whatever, let me know. I'm open to suggestions. May even start another channel for something a little different. Thanks again for all the messages and tweets last night. So I'll echo that again. I genuinely thank everybody who tweeted and messaged the other day. I was having a bit of a meltdown. I was genuinely considering it, and I stand by everything I said, but I also stand by my response. I'm giving it till Christmas. I'm giving it one last push, and we'll reassess at Christmas, because it is difficult, and when you're not enjoying it and you are putting so much time into it, you do have to kind of reassess the options. But I do just want to say thank you so much, as I said, for the support from everyone, especially the time I tweeted and the response I got was really incredible. And to know that there are still some people who enjoy the videos, I'm so thankful. As I say, to everybody who responded to that comment, really friggin' appreciate it. We spoke a little bit about it in the comments review, but I'm going to give it to YouTube. I'm going to give it to YouTube. I'm going to give it till Christmas, see where I'm at Christmas, and go from there. But yeah, that is it for that little segment. We kind of try to make it as comical as anything. But as I say, it was serious. It wasn't an attention-seeking maneuver. It was serious. I was genuinely considering it. And at one point, I haven't even told you this yet, Lyle, I had all of my videos on the Mr. FIFA Cam channel. Well, not all of them, but I had the first page selected, ready to delete them. And I just stopped myself, and I'm so glad I did. And I would not delete videos off this channel. It's not going to happen. So I was so glad I fucking stopped myself, because I'd have kicked myself if I'd have done it. But again, for the fifth fucking time in the space of a minute, thank you for all the support. And yeah, let's give it till Christmas to see where we're at Christmas. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Yeah, I would just go from. Yeah. Mm. We got with it a as close a feeling as we could have got to just how they would have felt in the war. I mean, by no means anywhere near to how they felt, but about as close as we could physically get to just how horrific, horrifying, and scary it would have been. And, you know, think about how, horrific and horrible it was to watch it sometimes as a viewer is not even a quarter of how it felt, that they were there. And it felt real. I felt a connection to it. It was scary, incredible, all at the same time. The sound effects were incredible, and we didn't even watch it in IMAX. I don't even know what it would have been like in IMAX. It would have just been incredible. I did tweet just after watching it, so I'll just read out my fucking tweet. It's been like a reading out tweet session here today. I put, just watched Dunkirk, and I've never been prouder to be British. We are an incredible country. Got a bit patriotic there. Then I responded, heart-wrenching, fucking hell, start again. Heart-wrenching, inspiring, and powerful. The strength and heart-wrenching, heart-wrenching, inspiring, and powerful. The strength and bravery soldiers showed is inexpressible. The British spirit is unbreakable. Hashtag Dunkirk. But what an incredible film. It really was. See, the thing is, I struggle to know how to describe it because it was such an experience, and I enjoyed it, but I hated it at the same time. Do you know what I mean? But I wanted to hate it, if you know what I mean, because it was so hard to watch. Yeah. I thought Harry Styles was incredible in it. Like, I thought he was one incredible actor. Like, obviously he was given the job and he got a bit of criticism. Why give it to, a pop star type thing? He was incredible. He looked like, I read a review and somebody said, and I think this line is perfect. They said, if it was, fuck. They said, they said if it wasn't Harry Styles, you would be saying this is the next big actor, up-and-coming actor. It was that good. And you were right with the jump scares. It was like a horror film, because that was quite simply what the war was like. A horror film. And it was scary. It was fucking... My heart was going at moments. It was simply incredible. If you haven't watched it, you've got to go watch the friggin' film. Even if you're not British. But if you are British, you've got to watch it. And when people bash our country, I would just ask them to watch this. And I know Dunkirk wasn't a massive success in the grand scheme, but it was a success because we managed to evacuate people that we just assumed were all pretty much going to die. The majority were not going to get out. So it was a miracle. And I stand by the fact that the British spirit is simply unbreakable. What an incredible friggin' film. And young people need to get off their fat fucking asses. Stop, being on Snapchat all day and all this type of shit, and actually go and watch that film, experience it, and, get a feel for the real world and just how proud you should be of those that fought in World War II, those that fought in World War One, and those who fight for our country, because everything we do on a daily basis that we take for granted is because of these folks. They are heroes. They should be regarded as heroes. And why are young people not got heroes like a soldier? Your heroes are those who fought in World War One, World War Two. Instead, our heroes are people like Cheryl fucking Cole, who changes her name every other week. It really is disgusting. They are not heroes. They are fucking idiots. No, let me start that point again. They are not heroes. The heroes are those that have fought and died, sacrificed for this country. An incredible film. I just came out, as I say, proud of the country, proud of the sacrifices people have made. I felt so patriotic. I said that to you when we walked out the cinema. I said I just feel so patriotic. It just truly was an incredible film. I think one of the best films of the year, without a shadow of a doubt, and one of the best films I've seen. I don't think everyone will like it because it is hard to watch. That's the point we can't really get away from. It's hard to watch. Don't take a 7-year-old to go watch it, but it was really good. And I like, history and films about history. And there's a Churchill film coming out that I've got to go watch. We're not going to give you too many spoilers, but at the end of the day, Dunkirk was a real historical event. So if you know anything about history, you already kind of know what happened. But I thought there's some really good characters in there. A decent story. The story was very good as well and very engaging. Obviously, it was real life. And the way they linked it. And the ending was fantastic. With Winston Churchill's speech. What a fucking perfect way to end the film. And I was sitting there with about 15, 20 minutes left to go in the film. And I didn't know that's how long was left in the film. But I knew we were around enough coming towards the end. And I thought, I wonder how they're going to end this. And I wonder whether they can end this film with the ending it kind of deserves. And it was a textbook perfect fucking ending, if ever there was one. And I cannot stress to you enough, if you have not seen this film, get out and watch the goddamn film. It will be the greatest fucking £7, £8, £10 you spend your whole entire life. And if you can watch it in IMAX, watch it in IMAX, because we didn't, but I'm sure it would be absolutely friggin' incredible. Anything else you want to say, Lyle? Oh yeah, fantastic point. Yeah, yeah. Yes, I agree. Mm. I think I know where you're going here. Well, they have. There are films out there. I think yeah. I know what you mean, like a big, massive film, perhaps about, even the concentration camps, possibly. I think it would be another great film. I think they should. I think it would be better to do it from the side of the Jewish people type thing, and how their lives were just fucking destroyed, and how horrific it was, showing us just the horrific scenes, as well, obviously including the Nazis and their point of view, and what they were saying. Obviously, nobody's going to agree with them, but just seeing how barbaric and disgusting and horrible those people were, and putting that in, I think you're right. I think that could be a fantastic film. One point I just want to pick up on from what you said a minute ago. You're absolutely right, and that's what I meant by the British spirit is unbreakable. It wasn't just the soldiers; it was the women in the boat. Just doing that simple job of preparing the tea, preparing the blankets, preparing the cups of tea. Did I just say that? I meant to say toast and then tea. But massive, and people just overlook those roles, but they were massively important. And even the roles of, like you say, the boats coming in to try and save and evacuate people from Dunkirk. normal British people putting their lives on the line to try and save these heroes. They are all heroes, in my opinion. Incredible stuff, incredible film. And it's got a bit of criticism from the SJW community. Fuck them. They criticise everything. They even criticise the new Doctor about being a woman because it wasn't, quote, and this is literally what they are saying, a black transgender woman. Now, how you can be a transgender woman, like, if you're well, I suppose you can be a transgender woman, but I assume they would want I don't know, do they want a transgender woman? Because then technically they're still, they were a man, so then, anyway, they criticised that. And they also criticised this because, quote, it didn't have black people in and women in lead roles. There's a reason possibly for that. Women weren't soldiers in the war, and where we saw women, they were important and we saw what they did. And also, there wasn't that many black soldiers in the war. There were some French black soldiers from memory, but I don't get the SJWs. I'm not saying about... Sorry, I made a stupid error there, and it would have sounded dumb if I didn't correct myself. There were black soldiers in the war, but there weren't that many in the British Army type thing. So it was a fair, historical, accurate representation, which is what you want. And I swear to God they do this. This is what they must do. They must go to a cinema, right, with a fucking clipboard and go, right, not enough women, not enough black women, no transgender, no gay representation, no... It's just fucking fucked up. Who goes to a film and watches that? Because the only reason I knew is because when I typed in Dunkirk into Twitter to see whether there was a hashtag when I was about to write my response, the first thing that came up was Dunkirk racist. And I was just like, are these people for fucking real? I mean, honest to God, they criticise everything. You can't win with these cuck-headed, cunt-headed, fuckheads, shit-faced cunts. That was completely unnecessary, but the point still stands. What a bunch of retards. Watch the film, realise it's historically accurate, and stop being wet fart, crybaby, socialist twats. Point made, point ended. I mean, seriously, who goes to a film and, ticks off, is there a gay person, is there this, is there fucking that? Fuck off! Jesus Christ. The film's about the sacrifice, not just the British made, the French made, everybody made in the war, women... even there was a child on there. I think he was 16, so whether you can class him as a child, I don't know. But what I mean? The sacrifices everybody made, and there you are, talking about black transgender women. It's just a joke. It really is a fucking joke. The world has gone mad. Fuck. So anyway, just to bring together our point on Dunkirk, me and Lyle both stressing the same point. Go watch the film. It is that good. The hype is real. Watch it in IMAX, and if you can't watch it in IMAX, don't worry, you'll still get the experience, because we did. Make sure you try and book tickets, because if it's half as packed as what it was when we got there, holy crap, then you struggle to find a seat. Admittedly, we did go in late. But yeah, that's my sort of last points on Dunkirk. And yeah, I'm really just so proud to be British after, not after watching that film, because I've always been proud to be British, but I've never been prouder. Lyle, your conclusion, your summary. Yeah, so would I, actually. I was just thinking that. I'm just trying to... What on earth could we do? I want to bring up something, but I don't really know what it would be called. And I don't know whether it's better to just use as a mini topic. I think we kind of need another mini topic, because the podcast's already Yeah. Yeah. I do just quickly want to touch on as well. ADL now censoring YouTube, which you probably think, what the fuck does that mean, Cameron? But I'll just quickly touch on that point. I did have something down like how nothing makes sense. What I mean is like how, when you actually think about it, nothing makes sense. Like, if there was a start to the universe, like what the fuck was here before? Like, you know, if there's an edge, if there's an end to the universe, then what is on the outside? Like, what is, if it's just an infinite, then how's that even possible? How can it just go on forever? Right. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go with that. The only other well, unless you just want me to touch on the ADL point quickly. Right, so it broke a little bit earlier today, or probably possibly yesterday. I found out that the group called ADL are not EDL. Important difference there. Both probably as bad as each other. Are going to be helping YouTube in their flagging and censoring of videos. Now, just to give you a little bit of information, the ADL are the ones who classified Pepe the cartoon frog as a racist, white supremacist symbol. They are now monitoring, censoring videos on YouTube. It is unbelievable how this censoring is going on. Videos are being censored. You say anything that YouTube doesn't like, that isn't fucking left-leaning feminist propaganda shit, you're probably going to get censored, demonetized, banned, etc., etc. If YouTube keeps their act up, there will be a time when there will be a competitor that comes out that stands for free speech, that stands for freedom of expression, and it wouldn't surprise me, especially with all the bugs that go on with YouTube, if it became a true competitor of YouTube. And we spoke about competitors with YouTube last week, and the fact there isn't really any. Maybe soon there will be. We'll have to wait and see. The only problem is you have to have a lot of money to create a website capable of doing what it would need to do. That would be the problem. But you just never know, because YouTube keeps censoring. People are going to look for elsewhere to upload their videos, and they already are. And yeah, I mean, YouTube has legally every right, I suppose, to censor, because it's their own company, can do what they want. But they want to be careful, because if people leave and they find a new platform and a new platform arrives, YouTube might not be the force and have the monopoly on the market that it currently does have. So just an interesting point that I wanted to bring up. We're going to be moving on to something a little bit different, which is where I'm going to be talking about a little briefing about how I realised the other year that literally nothing makes any sense in the world. And we'll kind of then link it into something Lara wants to bring up, which is the end of the world. An exciting, thrilling, gripping end to the podcast, which is going to depress you for the rest of your life. I'll stand by you, and I'll stand by you. I won't let nobody hurt you. I'll stand by you. I got Norwich promoted into the Premier League yesterday on career mode. I can't describe to you, Lara, how difficult it was. It was, I mean, I was playing on world class, and I'm pretty shit at FIFA, so it was, I looked like I was going to get the automatic, but the problem is I went for a spell of about 3 months where I'd win a game, and then I'd either draw or lose the next one. Then I'd win, and then I'd draw. So I couldn't win 2 in a row. And it was fucking pissing me off. Then I went on like a 4-game winning streak, and I was like, holy shit, automatic might actually happen here. Then I went on a 4-game losing streak, and then it was like coming up to the end of the season with about 2-3 games left, and it was like, shit, if I lose the next 3 games, I'm not even going to be in the playoffs. So I had to get my fucking proper, like, hardcore, you know, when you sort of go into that zone where you're playing really fucking concentrating everything. Just got into the playoffs, started to build up a bit of momentum. Thought I'm going to get fucking whooped in the playoffs. Sunderland in the first semi-final. Cameron Jerome in the 70th minute, getting a goal. Boom, into the second leg, away from home stadium light. Scored the opening goal. Took like all the star players off at half time so they'd be fit for the final. Conceded a goal, can't defend fucking headers. 1-1, I'm thinking to myself, shit. They were coming close. Finally got a goal at the end. Into the playoff final against Sheffield Wednesday. Again, I'm thinking, this is fucked up, never going to happen. Beat them 2-1. Holy shit, call me a genius. I tactically got it spot on. Pushed the defense, we got the goal, then sort of got the fullbacks to stay. Oh, it was perfect. Then I got in the Premier League, started the Premier League incredibly. Won like fucking, I had like 15 points after 7 games. Beat Liverpool 6-1, Lyle, on World Class. And they had the shittest team, to be fair. And then I went on a fucking 5-6 game losing streak. I think I've played 8 games. Of the last 8 games that I've played, in the season, I've lost 6, won 2. So all that hard work at the start of the season is completely ruined. I keep conceding ridiculous goals right at the end of fucking games. Last night honest to God, I nearly smashed my Xbox. I was that fucking fuming. At one point I thought, holy crap, I could genuinely push for the Premier League when I was on that run, especially when I was beating Liverpool 6-1. It was just absolute madness, and then completely cocked it up. And the problem I have is when I lose, I just keep playing. And it's not good when I do that, because then I just keep losing and losing and losing. I should have just stopped playing and just been done with it. But no, couldn't fucking do that. Nearly cocked everything up. So I'll probably get relegated. So yeah. They nearly sacked me after getting promoted. Like, I mean, honest to God. Just complete crazy. The budget was shit. 16 million in the Premier League I got. 16 million. Just fucking horrific. And I was listing people up on the transfer market. No bids were coming in. The only people that were getting bids were my fucking goalkeeper, who went up by 12 in the first season. I was like, I'm not selling him. And he was like the only person that got any bids. So it's just completely fucked up. I now got about 10 goalkeepers. It's a complete disaster. Right. Got to put the zombie apocalypse. I think we've got to bring that up. I've got to bring that up. I had to. I know. You're going to have fun editing this one. I'll try and get it over to you tonight if I can. It just takes so fucking long. What are you fucking writing down, Lyle? A novel? Okay. Hang on, should we just leave mine and just do the end of the world thing? Yeah. Oh no, I've just broken that. No. Oh, bollocks. Fuck. Right, go on. Sorry. I just broke something. Yeah. Don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. See that's what fucking that would annoy me. Like if that would annoy me, the end of the world would annoy me. If the world's gonna end, I want it to at least be a couple of days. You know, a couple day thing. We see it on Sky News. We can watch the news. Everyone's kind of excited but not excited. You know what I mean? I want it to be like a massive thing. I don't just want it to be like all of a sudden. No. Hmm. Hmm. Sorry, that's just I was trying to do a bit of sound effect there. Yeah, I have seen that clip. I'd want something exciting like that because then it could be like, oh, are we going to be able to stop it? Are we not going to be able to stop it? Oh, I could make a YouTube video on it. I just want it. I want it to be fun. You know, I would want it to be fun. I wouldn't just want it to be just that's it, game over. You know, a nuclear war. You know that one's an intriguing prospect. You know, hiding underground and stuff like that. But I mean, if it was a nuclear war, I think unless you're like an elite, unless you're a politician, somebody who you know, we're all fucked really. People think we're edging closer to a nuclear war. People say, "Oh, North Korea could do something." I tell you this right now: if North Korea so much as launched anything towards the United States, North Korea would be gone as quick as this. Gone. Done. See you later, Ali friggin' Gator. Within a minute, Kim Jong-un and his fat family would be gone. North Korea would be gone. And I know there would be innocent people that lost lives. Not everyone in North Korea is awful, but many of them are so brainwashed that I don't think some of them would be worth saving. That ain't what I meant. But basically, I think if they were saved, I think they'd be so brainwashed. I don't think you'd ever get them out of that kind of brainwashed zone. So, but yeah, I wouldn't worry about North Korea because the US could just wipe them out in a fucking instant. But nuclear war's like, you know, the predictable option, isn't it? How's the world going to end? Nuclear war. You know, it's just a bit boring. Do you know what I mean? Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. I'll tell you how the Flintstones know how to do all that. It's because it's a fictional. No, but on a serious note, I think that's a good point. I don't necessarily think it's happened before. Could it happen? Yeah, possibly actually. But like people always say about Russia, US, you just did it. I just can't see. It doesn't make any sense. He's suicidal. Like you wouldn't do it. It doesn't make any sense. The US and Russia, yeah, they hate each other, but not to the point where they're willing to just basically sacrifice everything just for the. It's not. I just don't think it's feasible. I can't see it happening. If it did happen, hypothetically, obviously we'd be fucked because we'd get involved because, we'd get involved to help the US and it would just be a disaster. So, hypothetically, yes, that could end the world. But Russia's not that retarded. The US aren't that retarded. Putin and Trump certainly are a little better, have a little bit of a better relationship than Obama and Russia. Obama and Russia, that was a little bit sticky to the point where you thought, oh, something could happen here. Not necessarily World War III. Clinton could have provided World War III, because if she wanted a no-fly zone over Syria, which basically means anything that flies over Syria, over the air zone, the US under her would have shot down. Russian planes do fly over. So, if she'd have either had to have gone against her policy, or she'd have shot down a Russian plane. Now, if she'd have shot down a Russian plane, then you're starting to get into the realms of a possible World War III. But we avoided Clinton and the Clintons. Praise the Lord, there is a God. And yeah, so I'm not worried about Russia. Not nearly as much as I would have been if fucking Clinton would have got in and brought in that policy. So, look, nuclear is obviously when there are nuclear weapons, there's a possibility that it could end it. I'll ask you this question, Lyle. Do you think nuclear weapons make the world safer or less safer? Hmm. I think it. Gone. Yeah. Obviously, but obviously there are a lot of countries that don't have nuclear arsenal. Yeah, there's not a lot more countries that do. A lot more countries don't have nuclear weapons. I think it makes it safer because obviously it's a deterrent. Now, let's take out nuclear weapons, for example, right? Let's say none of them existed. You would have little disagreements that we see between, say, Russia and the US and China and the US and North Korea and South Korea. They would end up being big wars. Whereas now they're not big wars. Because why are they not big wars? Because if you start something, it could turn into a nuclear one. So it's that deterrent. and stopping you from, having like millions of friggin' wars. And people go, oh, obviously a nuclear war would be completely deadly, but other wars are deadly too. And the fact that it's stopping these other wars, I think, means that it does good. I do think the one thing we've got to try and stop is the Middle East getting a lot of nuclear weapons. I know places like Iran have nuclear weapons now. One of the best things Obama did, not. So that's slightly worrying. But I do think it is a good deterrent. And, like when Corbyn's ultimate fucking, aim is to disarm. We don't want an army. We don't want a fucking nuclear weapon. He refused to say if we were under nuclear attack that he'd defend the country by pushing the button. He refused to fucking say that in the election. Fuck knows how he did. Well, he still lost, but he did better than people thought. I don't know how, but probably the socialist cucks. Anyway, essentially what I'm trying to get to is the fact that no other look, if little old Britain, right, and we are a powerful country, don't get me wrong, but if we just, we sold all our nuclear weapons, disarmed, not disarmed, but I don't know what the fucking word is, didn't renew Trident type thing and just kind of ended it all. Do people like Corbyn and who believe in it genuinely believe the US, Russia, countries like that are actually going to do the same? No. So then it puts us in a terribly, terribly weak position. It puts us with a fucking target on us to say, big country like Britain, give it a go. We can't defend. It's just crazy, batshit crazy. It really friggin' is. And go on. Well, exactly. Well, no. Well, no. I mean, the funny thing about World War II is not funny at all because the amount of people died. But we were, I'm not saying Britain were retarded, but all the countries against Germany were so retarded, letting Hitler do what he did, and just basically believing that, oh, if you just let me take over here, then I'll stop. Oh, if you just let me take over this one more, oh, I'll just. It's just utter fucking retard land that they were in. And I know hindsight is, a great thing. But it was, I don't know, perhaps it is because it's hindsight, but it was so obvious that he was never going to stop. It was so obvious that he was just, and that's why I think people are wary now. Like, they don't like people like Kim Jong. They're not just going to go, oh, he's not going to do that, because we know, only have to look back in recent history, World War II, recent history, we're going to have to look back there and see, well, we know what happened last time when we said, oh, we'll just give him that and he won't do much more. It didn't end well. So I think we're wary of that. We don't want history to repeat itself. It has a roundabout way of repeating itself. I think, you look at Hiroshima and how deadly that nuclear weapon was. When people go, oh, there's not nuclear weapons that could end the world. Look at Hiroshima. Look at that bomb only 80 years ago. And Nagasaki. Look how horrifically damaging that was. That was 80 odd years ago, however long it was ago. I can't do maths. Just think now how deadly they must fucking be. Like, holy fucking shit. Yeah, that's what I mean. One thing I want to bring up on the end of the world, while we're on the end of the world, everybody talks about a zombie apocalypse. And people think, it's just, for the horror movies, etc. There are scientists who genuinely believe it's possible. Like, they genuinely that something like this could happen. And you made a good point before the podcast, and I'll let you talk about it. But it's not necessarily zombies, but you could have zombie-like people that are alive type thing. They haven't died, that are acting like zombies trying to eat people, like has happened, but that could happen en masse. I don't know. Like, I know a lot of people like sit and they're like really excited. They want the zombie apocalypse. They can't wait. They're prepared for it. They want it to happen. I don't think it would be as exciting as it looks on the big screen. I personally. But it's interesting. That would be one incredible way to end the world. Like, don't know what you think, Lyle. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Just. Mm. I mean, Ebola. Mm. Well, they wouldn't. If it was in this country, they wouldn't shoot you. They'd fucking just let you do it. Because anyway, yeah. I mean, Ebola just shows how quickly like a virus can spread. I do think the media they'd like to make out that we're all like one step from death. You know, we're all gonna get cancer. We're all gonna get this. We're all gonna get everything. And oh god, the world's gonna end. There's a nuclear war. The media do love to exaggerate everything. I don't think we're as close to extinction as scientists would make out. I think a lot of it's bullshit. But I mean, I do find this topic funny. Well, it is fun. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna lie. I do find it funny, and there is kind of a I don't know. I don't fear the end of the world because I know that it'd be the end for kind of everybody, if you know what I mean. So we'd all be in it together. So I'm not going to stop singing at high school, but we would. So I do find the topic funny. It's entertaining to kind of talk about different ways and, you know, ask the hilarious question of, if the world was going to end, what would be your dream way? You know, what would be your dream scenario of the world to end? So I do enjoy this topic, and obviously I don't want the world to end. Although some days I think it's probably a good prospect, especially when Chelsea lose. If Chelsea lose, I want the world to end. It can all be over. I'll ask you that question, Lowell. Dream way, end of the world. What is your dream? If you had the power to choose how the world ends, how would you do it? Would you want it quick, short, nobody knows? Would you want it prolonged thing? Would you want it zombie? Would you want it what? How are you going to end the world? Fucking. Fuck me, that's a bit fucked up. You know, I was just thinking of Susan going down, you know, to the groceries and starting, you know, a little fire, and it ends up. Jesus Christ! Yeah. I think how insignificant we are as well, like how small and insignificant we are. Question is, right, if God is real, and we're not going to get into the whole God debate, we could do that. That could be another podcast topic. If God is real, if the end of the world was upon us, do you think he'd try and stop it? Or do you think he'd just go, oh, fuck it, these useless twats, they'll come to heaven anyway, the nice ones. Yeah. And maybe that's why the asteroids haven't hit. They get so close, and some people say, I don't know how they haven't hit. Maybe it's God sort of fucking telling them to fuck off type thing. I think what an exciting way, and go ask my own question, would be like an alien invasion of all, you know, of like unbelievable proportions. And like, not everyone would have to die. Like, you know, some we would turn into slaves. Oh, it'd be great. Well, I mean, it wouldn't be great if I was there, but you know what I mean? I just think that would be an exciting way. But yeah, I wonder what batshit crazy ideas people have got for the end of the world. I've read some pretty crazy shit. But yeah, it's an interesting topic, isn't it? It's a bit depressing, but... Mm. Well, they do say that the robots might, if they can gain sort of self-awareness, they might want to take over the world. And again, this is another example of the media exaggerating everything. You know, the world, global warming is a hoax. Global warming is going to end the world, apparently. You know, even though they can't tell us, you know, whether we can put our washing out. You know, the robots are going to take over, even though robots can't even the robots can't even walk properly yet, folks. And they're trying to tell us that in 40 years the robots are going to take over the world. Get a grip. They might take over a few of our jobs, and we might have to change we might have to have when we had the Industrial Revolution, we might have to have another revolution to kind of create new jobs. But I can confirm exclusively the world is not going to end by robots, certainly not for many, 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 many years to come. Because the robots, quite frankly, now are still very, very, very fucking incapable of doing most things. So I'm not concerned about the robots. You know, if you look at some of the best robots, they go, look at this incredible robot. And you look at it, and it can't even walk. It picks up something, it drops it. I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. I'm not friggin' buying it. You are. Yeah. I don't think they could end the world, but they could bring countries to a standstill. There's about the authorities think there's about 3,000 jihad fighters in this country. 55,000 people who subscribe to ISIS's yearly magazine. 250,000 who sympathise with terrorist attacks in the UK alone. Let's just take the jihad fighters, okay? 3,000 of them. Let's just say that for every day, one of them gets a suicide bomb and, you know, sets it off somewhere. We would be under attack for the next 8 years straight. I think it's 8 years. 8 years straight. Under attack. Attack after attack after attack after attack. It would be in London. It would be in Manchester, Bristol, Norwich, little villages. It would be a war zone. So they could bring a country to its standstill. And that is why I stress the point to people. People go, oh, they don't kill that many people, blah, blah. Any loss of life is enough for it to be despicable and disgusting. And the amount that are here, and the amount of stuff that goes on, and it's not just the killings, it's the sexual assaults, the rapings, the no-go zones, etc. The stuff that goes on that isn't even reported in the media is shocking. And we are truly under attack. And if they did decide to do an attack every day, they could do it for the next 3,000 days. Just imagine it. Just friggin' imagine it. And as I say, it would pop up here, there, and friggin' everywhere. Where we think now, oh, we're okay in little old Norfolk. How many times do you hear people say that? We're okay. It wouldn't happen in Thetford, even though Thetford's like literally the capital of the world. You know, you don't get an Englishman in Thetford anyway. Literally, it would bring the end to this country. We'd be under war, it'd be attack after attack, Thetford, Attleborough, villages, schools. It would be a joke. Everybody would be scared shitless. It would be a disaster. And it could happen. And there are authorities there. There are enough people here for that to happen. And it would just be carnage. Because then you start getting retaliation attacks. And it would be a war zone. There'd be tanks on we nearly got that. We nearly got that. After the recent London attack, after the recent Manchester attack, there were soldiers on the streets, and I don't have a problem with that. I think that's good. But we would have tanks on the streets. That would be a regular thing. I mean, it's a regular thing already in Brussels. In Germany, it's pretty much every other day. Every week, there's 2-3 things that happen. There was a stabbing the other day. There was a killing of a police officer the other day. It is happening. Europe is under attack. And the idiots who are so blind and damn delusional not to see it will bring the end to Western civilization. We are at war. It is a threat. And you only have to read facts and statistics and real life, real true things. Go to these Muslim no-go zones to see what is happening. It is horrific. The fact we have let 3,000 odd jihad fighters back into the country is truly shocking. The fact that the authorities, MI5, etc., say they would like to monitor 20,000 people just shows you the sheer scale of this. This is not a small friggin', massive, small majority of a couple, 10 so people that people think it is. This is huge. The cell alone from the Manchester attack shows you just that. The fact that in some mosques they are handing out, hateful things that basically encourage you to become an ISIS fighter on their open days is seriously worrying. We need help from the Muslim community. We need help from those that are seeking for reform in Islam. We need to help them along on their journey. We need to reform it, and we need to kick the hell out these jihad fighters, because if they wanted to, they could quite simply bring Europe to a standstill. And at times, Europe is, at a standstill. Germany's a disaster. France is a disaster. Britain's getting that way. And it is really, really sad and shocking. So, back to your original point. Can it end the world? I don't know, Lyle. I really don't. But it wouldn't necessarily end the world, because they'd be alright in their countries. But it could end Western civilization. Hell friggin' yeah. And I'm sorry that's depressing, but people need to know the reality, because so many people are just so brainwashed. They just don't seem to understand what's going on. And it's a serious threat. It is a serious threat. You look back, Nazis were a massive threat only a few hundred years ago. This is the new threat. This is the new evil. And we need to accept it, and we need to start fighting it. And at the moment, we're not. Letting 3,000 back into it's just crazy, crazy, crazy shit. 250,000 that support, that are happy about the terrorist attacks, that cheer the terrorist attacks. 250,000 that admit to cheering it. It is truly friggin' shocking. And things need to change. And just because there isn't a terrorist attack and hasn't been one for a few sort of weeks, it's not really been a few months, it's been a few weeks, should not mean that this is not serious. Look round Europe, folks. Open your friggin' eyes to reality. Jesus. Anyway, there we go, Lyle. Light-hearted note. Oh, this has been fun. Hang on. Before you go on, supernova is that a star? I'm right in saying it, aren't I? Right, sorry, I've just been a bit retarded, and I didn't want to sort of not understand what you're talking about. Go on. I tell you what, though, that was a really light-hearted note. I'm going to be honest. That really has brought up everybody's mood listening to this podcast. An incredible way to end this podcast. One thing I want to say is I don't understand what a light year is. I work in miles and meters. Can somebody tell me what a light year is in miles? How many times is it back from Norwich? A couple of times back from Norwich, 3-4 times back. How many times back from Norwich? I don't understand it. Anyway, that's it. I've certainly enjoyed it. Sorry, you go on, Lyle. Ah, damn it. That can't happen. Sorry, that ain't happening. Not happening. Well, this has been... I'm not going to end the podcast now because it's your turn to this, but what an incredible... I think it's been an enjoyable podcast. I've really enjoyed this one. We spoke about Dunkirk. We spoke about a lot of things. Leave topics down in the comments below. Again, I'm not going to do what Lars' thing is, but there was a point I wanted to mention. Next podcast, I want to bring up stuff a little bit like what I was saying there. How literally nothing makes any sense. And I'll leave it at that. All I'll say is time. How does it make sense? Start and an end. If there was a start, what was there before? So we're going to bring that up next podcast, that'll be one of the topics. But today's topics, I suppose the main ones have been Dunkirk and the end of the world. That might get some views, Lyle. I don't know. I daren't say it because I don't want to say, you know, I don't want to jinx it, but it could get, you know, it could get a few views. Exactly. We've got to clickbait this video. Absolutely. We've got to clickbait it. Huge. It's got to be huge. But yeah, Lyle, I'll let you end the video. Just want to say again, back to a little bit briefly on what I said at the start of the podcast. Thank you to all the support for people. This could have been a week where I ended my YouTube, but thanks to you, it ain't. So thank you very much. I've enjoyed the podcast. Over to you, Lyle, to sign things off. Follow us on my social medias as well. Anyway, go on, Lyle. Yeah, it could be a hard one to follow, couldn't it? That's the only thing. But you know, it is what it is at the end of the day, you know. Go on, sorry. Au revoir. Boom! That, I